Go ahead.
But a threat to what? A threat to what? All of existence?
Lower Manhattan, south of Houston.
Sorry, did he... So he took over the presidency, took over the Avengers, shut down S.H.I.E.L.D., and took over Hammer. You tell me what he was the threat of. Because if you just say it's Lower Manhattan, then are you really a Marvel fan?
He never ended up in Arkham Asylum. All right, guys. So here we are, back to another episode of Comics Conspiracy. Today is going to be all about the villains. Really, let's be honest. When is it not actually all about the villains?
100%.
Think about how boring comics would be without the villains. All right, so
Think about how boring this show would be without Jordan.
Thank you. I'll take that.
You've given him way too much credit. So
I just called him a roundabout villain, but okay.
That's still.
You said I'm the entertainment.
Here we go. You did it, Chris.
I am the entertainment. I'm the one.
All 13. You would have a replica
all
belt.
13. I earned this. And for every person I
How
pinned,
many did you have
I made
to suck?
them. Every person I pinned, I made them sign. Right here. So we got McFoley, and then I pinned Trish Stratus.
Before or after she got arrested for murdering somebody in her car?
Doesn't matter.
Hold on. Is pinning a woke way of saying rape?
Whoa.
There it is. Whoa.
We don't use the W word around here. That's offensive.
Okay. Grape?
No, the W word. The W word.
Alrighty. The grape.
It might hurt some Gen Zers, some Zoomers.
Oh.
We used to call Zoomers in high school. We used to call mushroom Zoomers in high school. Now they're a whole generation. It makes a lot of sense, actually.
I don't know. It's more based on parenting, I think, than anything. But alrighty. Speaking of, how's your young lad doing?
He's doing great. He's sleeping with mom right now. He's been doing some midnight screams, but I think that's normal. We were up.
Depends on
early.
what he's screaming.
Yeah. He hasn't dropped any F-bombs yet. I think I got called a shithead, though. Pretty sure.
That was me.
Oh, God. That makes sense. Makes sense.
Funny story. My daughter, her first word was hi. Her second word... Oh, screw off with the fucking thumbs up. Her second word was daddy.
Nice.
Or dada. I can't remember. Yeah. Her third word was shit. I kid you not, and we have it on video. And then the best part is we figured out why her third word was shit. We were, she was, 8 months old, and we were Christmas shopping at Yorkdale Mall, where I rarely ever went, and it was super busy. And we get out of the car and we're walking along. It's all snowy and crowded, people rushing around looking for spots. And you know when you lock your car and it honks. Some cars have their horn just goes. Meh. Well, I went, oh yeah. As soon as the horn honked, she went, shit. And I turned and I looked at her mother and I went, yeah, that's you. And she totally owned it. She went, yeah, that's totally me. Every time she honks the horn, shit. So that's what the kid in the back seat facing the other direction picked up. Third word.
That would mean your ex honked the horn quite a bit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of conditioning to get that kind of response for sure.
Yeah.
All right, but they are sponges. They are just complete clean slates. They pick it all up very quickly though.
It's
all right. Yep. Okay, guys. So today we're going to be talking about villains that have the most impact in the Marvel Universe. So we're going to bring on the bad guys.
Bring it on.
All right. If anybody knows that reference.
We have to agree that they're an actual villain, right? Because we had a debate about Galactus, whether he's a bad guy or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that can be all part of the conversation. I'm sure Jordan will screw it up just like he screwed up Ghost Rider. So,
and Punisher.
Yeah,
I didn't screw up Punisher.
Yeah, you did. It's even in the short that you posted.
That was a great short. Eat shit.
Okay, but that all going. So yes, we're going to be talking about what villain has been the most impactful to the Marvel universe, and there's going to be some good debate on this. And I think that there's a few names in the hat that are going to be great contenders. So
I have an idea. I have an idea of who the top 3 possibilities are going to come up.
Yeah.
Hang on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write it down here so I don't look like a liar.
I'll write it down too. 1 second.
This is entertaining, right?
I'm just confused on how we're okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to write mine down.
All right.
I have who I believe are the 3 picks right here.
Me too.
Are you Johnny Carson right now?
Yes.
No, that's bringing back the day. I thought you were a young guy, Jordan. All right, so let's get going then.
You know, good bits live forever.
They do. Okay, like music. Good music lives forever. All right, Jordan, we're going to start with you. Who is your pick?
My pick is none other than Norman Osborn. Okay.
That was my 4th that I was going to put down, so I lost.
I'm sorry. I thought you saw my prompt. That's why I'm like, why are you writing it down?
No,
because you already know my prompt.
No, I didn't.
Fair. So we got to go back to his roots as Green Goblin. His earliest battles with Spider-Man, established himself as a force to be reckoned with, introducing chaos, unpredictability, and fast forward to this is where he starts to speed up. You got to go to the Dark Reign series. So after he saves the world from the Skrull invasion, Norman then orchestrates a plan to not only dismantle the Shield, he takes control of the entire country, becoming the president and the head of Hammer. This move solidifies his status as a villain in Marvel of unparalleled cunning and ambition. What sets Norman Osborn apart is his ability to manipulate others. There's many examples in the past here, and I can go all the way back to Avengers in the... 1 second. In the 80s, the 90s, all the way back to 1973 is when he first fought the Avengers, which I didn't know about until I did some research. I thought that was pretty neat. So Osborn's mind games are almost unmatched in Marvel. His manipulative tactics extend beyond his physical confrontations, even though he's super strong. He's very well versed at creating psychological warfare that keeps the pieces in Marvel's pages on the edge of their seats, as well as the readers. And then we have to go to the Dark Avengers. While he was president and head of Hammer and No More Shield, he takes control of the Avengers, taking iconic heroes and twisting them into some twisted dark mirror versions of themselves, right? Like it wasn't actually Captain America, he would find his replacement, etc. The Dark Avengers served as a testament to Osborn's ability to corrupt and control. Norman's legacy reverberates throughout the Marvel Universe. His actions during Dark Reign left scars that persist to this day. The repercussions of his presidency and chaos he unleashed continue to shape Marvel's storytelling and landscape. Who knows what Marvel has more for Norman? I think he has become a household name now, not just with his portrayal from Willem Dafoe, which is top-notch, but he went from a contender to be Spider-Man's greatest foe to actually become one of Marvel's biggest bad guys because of him taking over the country, dismantling the Shield, and taking control of Hammer. We have other villains who have done great things, but who's actually succeeded on that level? And that's why I give you Norman Osborn.
I have to admit, AI has made me change my mind.
Yeah, it was almost like that was off the cuff and you weren't reading it.
I wasn't reading anything. I put it all into a teleprompter
Okay,
that I
so
found online.
as
All
a
right,
video,
all
as
right,
a video
Biden.
professional,
Yes,
when
please.
when you're using a teleprompter,
Yeah.
a good thing is to narrow your margins so that your eyes aren't going across like this.
Ooh, I like that. You teach me more. Teach me more. I like that.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Biden.
so
It was first time. I got it up my game a little bit.
All right.
if there were a top 3 villains to pick, you lost. Okay, Paul, yours?
Oh, you want my choice?
Yeah.
All right. Mine is going to be Thanos. I don't think that anybody can rock the Marvel universe like he does. When he gets a bug up his ass, everybody is going to feel it. That's just the way he is. It's the way he's designed. It's how he's almost always been, except when he was flying around in the Thanos copter?
The
or something,
Thanos
whatever it
copter.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I mean, when they actually established
Man,
what
if
they
that
were
wasn't a
gonna
plug to sell toys or what, eh?
do, was it toys or was it like pastries? I can't remember which one it was.
I
Anyway.
think it was like a helicopter service. It would take you over the Niagara Falls or something like that.
No, but I mean the actual advertisement he was in. I think it was like those fruit pie things or something
Oh,
like that.
fair.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay. So anyway, regardless, anybody who is a Marvel fan knows about the Infinity. You slot in whatever you want: Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Crusade, Infinity Quest, Infinity Back Scratcher, whatever.
Infinity reboot.
Yeah, exactly. And if we're going to talk about movies, and we're going to talk about impacts of movies, okay? The Avengers, the entire MCU phases 1, 2, and 3, or whatever, how many phases it took to get Thanos going the way he was supposed to be going. Everybody knows who Thanos is now, okay? Nobody talks about was Green Goblin right, but everybody will talk about was Thanos right. Everybody knows what the snap was, right? That's
One of my
that's a
biggest pet
thing now.
peeves, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's a thing, right? Thanos has overarching.
He's
Popularity.
mainstream now.
Yeah, he's mainstream. Also, yeah, I'm not going to say that he was a draw in and of himself. Like, I don't think people were flocking to the movies just to see Thanos or anything like that. But he is now a household name. I would argue more than the Green Goblin.
Oh no, that's not true.
Okay.
I have to agree with Paul.
Thanos is not more of a household name than
Okay, I'm
Green
talking
Goblin.
about a normie who has no idea. He probably knows now what Thanos is all about, killing half the population, but he couldn't tell
Thanos
me what
never
Green Goblin is all about besides fighting Spider-Man.
Thanos never killed half the population.
He did in the comics.
Yeah,
half the population
Pretty sure
of the
Nebula
universe.
undid that, and then Adam
reality.
Warlock
It does-
undid that.
That's fine.
Okay, hold on, Jordan. Is Norman Osborn still the president of the United States?
What? That doesn't make
Is Norm-
sense. Was he the president of the United States?
No, yeah, and did half the population die?
Undone.
Yeah, but
Reversed.
it doesn't change that it was done.
when it's Uno reversed, it means it didn't happen, right?
No, because even
And-
when you're
and-
playing Uno, you have to acknowledge the reverse
Hold on.
card in order for you to,
And then
to
also-
reverse
Why
it.
why would it have to be reversed if it didn't happen?
And also, yes or no,
Yes.
has Norman
Why do
been
you have to
defeated by Squirrel
transition
Girl?
if you're already a woman?
Has
what is
Norman
the process?
Osborn been defeated by Squirrel Girl?
Probably.
No.
I
no.
thought we don't acknowledge garbage from the past.
Yeah, and
few years.
exactly. Like
When was
We acknowledge
Squirrel
the
Girl
copter.
invented?
We acknowledge the copter. We acknowledge
Yeah, but-
Squirrel Girl.
hold on. The copter.
The
The
copter's
copter was
from
from
the
like
70s.
what? The 70s.
Well, you said garbage. So
No, I
I'm just
said
saying.
recent garbage.
all recent garbage.
Yes, we don't
and
acknowledge
then
past
also-
a certain point, right?
Thank you, Chris.
I can argue that Thanos is a one-hit wonder. He's had one good story. It was epic story. Epic.
Okay.
One of the best
Here-
stories, but
Okay.
it's a one-hit wonder.
I
Okay.
disagree. I
I do
disagree.
too.
He
But-
was
but hold on.
integral in the zombie the zombieverse story. I forget what they actually called it, but like when they went into the zombieverse and had to battle like Captain Marvel, zombie version led team of like, and there was Captain America. They were all zombies. All the Marvel characters were zombies, and the only reason they won was because of Thanos.
That would be an Elseworlds, not canon, right?
No, it's canon.
Yeah, because remember, this is going from one reality to the zombie reality.
Yeah, it's not undoing anything.
It's another reason why I hate multiverses, but it doesn't matter.
Agreed.
My point being is that anytime we're talking about impact and not just popularity, we're talking about impact. Anytime Thanos decides to turn over in bed, the entire universe knows about it. It's how he is. It's how he's designed. He is a cosmos shaking character, and he shakes the cosmos. Right? Now, my point getting back, though, is with the Green Goblin, it took Norman Osborn. We're going to say Norman, not the Green Goblin. We'll say Norman Osborn because that was your point. It was Norman Osborn, not
It's
the Green
Norman.
Goblin. Yeah, it's Norman. But it takes Norman decades upon decades of work to get where he is. Thanos,
Long-term booking.
sure, absolutely. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's great for stories and stuff like that. But Thanos just needs a single issue, and already entire worlds are fucking thrown upside down. That's what he does. He doesn't need decades. He has impact, right? He can beat the Silver Surfer up with his own surfboard if he wants to. He punches out the Hulk if he needs to. He's that guy. He doesn't make fake Silver Surfer. He just goes after the Silver Surfer himself. So my pick, and everybody knows why who's watching this, is Thanos. People might not know who Norman Osborn is. I'm letting you people know, the normies that might be watching this, he's actually the Green Goblin. But everyone knows who Thanos is. All right. Chris, it's your take, man.
Okay, so Thanos would have been my pick because I'm a big Thanos guy. Have been since late '80s. But there were my top three that I thought were going to be our picks was Thanos. The one that you guys missed is Kingpin.
I had him on my list and I switched it.
I should have. That's a good one.
I had him and I had everything typed out and I'm like, you know what? Norman has done more than Kingpin.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
Maybe globally. Maybe
that's a debate
globally.
for a different day.
Yeah,
And
we could.
and we
that's
would
a
have
good
to
one.
look at timelines.
That is a good one. Yeah, we can do that.
And I'm going to put a date limit on it too.
That's why
I
I
don't
said
wanna-
we'd have to look at timelines because
I don't want anything that happened last year. We
Right.
have to put a
Right.
date limit on it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if they're pushing trans Green Goblin, then we don't give a shit.
It's Blue Goblin. Blue-haired
Yeah.
Goblin now.
Yeah, blue meanie.
The blue
I feel so bad for that flight board. That flight board. Holy cow. Got to reinforce that flight board.
It's
All
powered
right.
by rainbows.
So
Yeah,
my
right?
my pick is Doctor Doom.
Hold
And
on. Hold on, Chris. Hold that thought.
What did you do at ChatGPT as well? What'd you
I don't know
put?
if you guys can see.
Doom, Thanos, and who's the last one?
Osborne.
Osborn? Oh wow. Yeah, but you knew. You see, apparently Jordan posted his thing.
It doesn't matter how you win, just that you win. All right, go on.
All right, well, I'm gonna Uno reverse card that bullshit. It never happened. So
There you go. Just snap away and it's gone. It never happened.
yeah,
Yep. Okay,
So,
keep going though, Chris. Talk
Doom-
about Doom.
Doom, in my opinion,
Calm
Of-
down.
all the Marvel enemies, bad guys, has been the most transversal. He's first and foremost a Fantastic Four villain, but he has been everybody's villain and sometimes companion because he flip-flops almost as much, if not more, than Magneto. So he is. I've got two Doom figures up there. He is Billy Badass that has never been done justice in TV or movies. The interpretations are weak. They don't showcase anything.
Oh, he's been let down
they don't even touch on the black magic, and I don't know whether that's a political move that they've decided that they don't want to address as a mainstream thing, but and they the whole Fantastic Four with Chickless as the Thing. I mean, it was more campy than. It was almost on par with the 60s Batman show. Like you've got the Thing who's shorter than everybody else. Like, it was so weird.
This guy fought the Hulk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Doom has gone across so many different titles. He's touched everybody and tried to, and what's weird, and I still to this day want resolution for, is he was on the team to go up against Thanos in the original Infinity Gauntlet. He got his ass handed to him, and in the last panel that I believe he appears in, he's smoldering. His green outfit is burnt off. It's just him in his metal form. He's smoldering, and he says something along the lines of, "That glove will be mine." And his whole thing is he's there to use what's being put together as a team to try and go against Thanos, to try and usurp the power for himself, as always. And they never resolved that. They never even showed where he ended up moving away from what was happening. And I get that things like Nebula took the gauntlet and snapped everything. And by the way, the snap, fuck off. The only reason the snap is because Mephisto says to Thanos, he says, but with but a thought, I think he says, you could wipe out the existence of the entire universe. Or maybe he even says, with the snap of your fingers. So, and Thanos says, let it be so, and does that. They took that and went in the movies, so they made it almost like, and people haven't, whether they intended to or not, but people have interpreted it, that the snapping the gauntlet is the only way to induce its power, which is stupid. The whole point was the bearer is now omnipotent. He has utter control over space, time, reality, the soul, and power. So I actually, after the movies came out, I saw some kids on my street playing, and they were like, "No, you didn't snap your fingers, no." And they were running around, and I'm like, "Oh, I just want to grab these kids and educate them and tell them he doesn't have to snap his fingers. He can just think about it and make it happen." But anyway.
Pet Peeves by Camera Chris.
It is. So anyways, Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is the most influential and involved villain of the Marvel Universe.
Can I ask a question?
With Kingpin and Magneto being close.
Magneto was another one I was thinking about. Magneto was.
What's your question?
So, what is Doctor Doom's motive normally? Would you say it's Latveria?
What World Conquest?
Is it World Conquest, or is it take care of Latveria?
No, that's his home base. So that's where he shows his benevolence. That's where he shows that he's not a thorough bad guy. And if you live under him, you're safe, you're protected. He's the mafia gang lord of his region. But his ultimate goal is always more power, more control,
more responsibility.
Yeah. Yes. But he's always seeking to branch out. It's not just about his tiny little kingdom. That's just where he is ultimately safe, because he's also a genius, and he's built up all these technological safety guards and protection and whatever. So he's there, he's safe, and he has ultimate say, ultimate control. But he, like with the example of getting the Infinity Gauntlet, he's always striving to get more. And even everything he does is world conquest. But then whenever there's a galactic battle that he thinks he could gain from, he's right there.
Yeah, Secret Wars.
Right. Prime example.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the Green Goblin was even in the Secret Wars.
Well, you know why that is.
He was dead then?
Because, I was going to say because he's not that influential, and
Oh!
I'm pretty sure a few episodes you said he was more influential of Spider-Man villains than any other villain.
in the
Oh, no,
in
that
the
was- That was Paul. You said Venom was.
Did I?
if I-
I wouldn't have said that.
I think you said Venom is Spider-Man's greatest foe.
I don't know. I think if I said anything, I said Venom is Spider-Man's most powerful foe, but I didn't say greatest.
We'll have to go check the tape.
And if anything, I said his most worthy foe is Kraven the Hunter.
Ooh, Craven's legit though. Okay, remember this is overall impact. This is not impact in Spider-Man's books.
And
Correct.
Although
that's,
Spider-Man's
and
books,
Correct.
hold on, but Spider-Man's books do have a significant pull with Marvel.
No.
arguably the top of the pyramid.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's defined. So, and that is another thing, is whereas the Fantastic Four aren't at the top of the pyramid.
But they're responsible
Iron Man
for
is
the-
not at the top of the pyramid. The Avengers aren't at the top of the pyramid. It's X-Men and Spider-Man.
Yes.
Therefore, Doom isn't involved in that conversation, right?
No.
Doom
You're
shows
wrong
up
with
if you're a Fantastic Four fan, if you're an Avengers fan.
I have an amazing X-Men comic with Doom involved in it.
A whole one?
No, a run. There. Is that a better line for you?
I
Run.
guess one whole run out of 70 years of comics. That's pretty impressive.
No, it's a good story though. It doesn't invalidate him in any capacity. But what I'm trying to say is you're saying that because the Fantastic Four aren't the most popular comic book, that the relevance is less. You do understand there wouldn't be a Marvel universe if it wasn't for the Fantastic Four. There wouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Right. I would say it's more Spider-Man. How many times have Marvel gone bankrupt and Spider-Man and the X-Men have bailed them out?
No. I'm not talking about financially. I'm not talking about logistically or anything like that. I'm just talking about creatively. Creatively, there would not be a Marvel universe without the Fantastic Four. And a big drive for the Fantastic Four and their foundations is Doctor Doom.
I understand, but I mean, I don't think it's like saying Oswald the Rabbit. There would be no Mickey Mouse without Oswald the Rabbit, and we
Right,
should
someone would have
watch
filled that
Oswald.
hole.
Right, we should have watched. We need more Oswald the Rabbit because he was there before Mickey. Mickey's the guy. Spider-Man's the guy.
No, but listen, I'm not the hugest Fantastic Four fan. I wasn't even a fan until the Art Adams run of the early '90s. So I was always like, yeah, whatever. Like I even felt ripped off as a kid when we got fucking Herbie the robot instead of the Human Torch. Like,
Yep.
you know, just and that's even when I wasn't you just wanted superhero stuff at that age and in that time frame. But I wasn't a big fan of the Fantastic Four. I'm like, ooh, so this guy can stretch and he's smart. All right, cool.
Yeah, cool.
How does that help me out?
I was always the thing for me, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't really become a Fantastic Four fan. Like they could have gone on forever or been canceled that moment until John Byrne got a hold of it too. When John Byrne got a hold of it, that's when I started becoming a little bit more of a fan. Like when a thing fights Gladiator, it's amazing. You know what I mean? It's like it's awesome.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Who hasn't the Thing fought?
Nobody.
Me.
Right?
He hasn't fought me yet. And when he does,
Yeah,
It's clobbering time.
it's clobbered time.
All right. So okay. We got three choices here, and all with legitimate arguments.
we're gonna vote.
Why? Why? Well, you guys already cast your vote.
Yeah,
No, I can change.
I'm
I've changed my
trying.
vote before,
So I'm
but
of the belief
persuasive
of,
arguments can change minds.
right.
and I
right.
have changed my vote before.
And Paul
So-
even admitted AI changed his mind.
That's right.
It-
That's
it
right.
did.
I'm trying to crack holes. Again, Thanos is a one-hit wonder.
Oh, gee.
He is. His biggest run was the
Okay,
Infinity Gauntlet.
okay. So then,
Was it ground
you're-
shaking?
You saying
Yes.
that one hit wonder? You're saying him like as one hit wonder is me saying the Green Goblin and Harry Osborn Norman Osborn are just Spider-Man villain. He's just a Spider-Man villain. There, it's the same kind of lackadaisical argument.
It's not.
It
we're
is.
talking
Except
about
that-
we're talking about shakers and movers, right?
Yeah.
So
And-
I gave you like 7 encounters with the Avengers, taking down the U.S. government, taking down Shield.
Hold on. How many
times has Thanos done this?
many times?
He
How many
shows
times
up.
does he need to?
Well, that's fair. But for
And hold on.
consistency and shaping Marvel,
Yeah.
Norman is there. He's
Okay, hold on.
always there.
All right. If we're going to go off of that, then, and we're trying to stick with the comic books, all right?
Yeah.
How many omnibuses have Infinity tagged to them compared to Norman Osborn? How many?
Is this because the word infinity sells in Marvel? Because we're not
No, it's
talking
because
about...
there's so many. It's because there are so many separate stories that involve Thanos that are cosmos shaking. Yes, the most popular one,
And
of course, is
and that they bring
Yep.
everyone else together.
yes.
So Norman Osborn, being what and who he is, has, for the bulk of his career, for the bulk of Marvel Comics' existence.
I like how you said career. I love it.
Well, he's a career criminal, right?
That's
he's a
it.
career lunatic.
Mhm.
Has been thwarted by your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And all of the instances, and I'd like timelines on your references of his more grandiose conquerings, because if they fall outside the realm and they're more new, then they get disqualified under
1973, 1984, 1982, 1990. Dark Reign
Really?
happened in 2... Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Dark Reign happened. Hold on, when did Dark Reign happen?
2005, right after Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
That's when he took control.
Yes, and then and how about Dark Avengers? That came after that.
Oh, it's right after Dark Reign.
Yeah.
And that's where I
it's
stopped.
like a sequence, right? Secret Invasion, Dark
Yeah.
Reign,
Yeah.
and then Dark Avengers, right?
Yeah, and that's where I
Bang, bang,
stopped. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can almost view it as one story for Norman.
Yeah. All right. So, but now I'm not going to sit there and say that Norman Osborn hasn't proven himself as a threat.
There's
Okay?
there's
But a
nothing. Go ahead.
But a threat to what? A threat to what? All of existence.
Lower Manhattan, south of Houston.
Sorry. Did he? So he took over the presidency, took over the Avengers, shut down Shield, and took over Hammer. You tell me what he was the threat of. Because if you just say it's Lower Manhattan, then are you really a
Did they
Marvel
get it-
fan?
Did they get it back?
What's
So,
that?
Did they get it back? So it's like it never happened, right?
Oh no, it happened. So I'm done.
No, it's like an
like
Uno
when you
reverse card. If they got
wish
it back, it never happened.
So I put on the gauntlet and I wish it never happened. It didn't happen. They used the genie to make sure it didn't happen. Is Cap dead? Did Thanos kill Cap?
Yes,
Is Cap dead?
right. But
What
if
happened
you-
to Cap? How did
If
he
you're going
resurrect?
to use that argument, how many characters have died in Marvel Comics history
No.
that are all
Wait,
back?
wait. Cap died. Thanos backhands him. How is he alive? Tell
Hold
me
on,
the
can
story
I-
of how he. No, wait. I'm not done.
Okay.
Tell me the
All right.
story how he came to be.
You know how.
Tell me how.
You know
For
how.
the viewers at home.
You already mentioned it because Nebula got her hands on the gauntlet and
And
reversed it.
wished that it never happened.
But it did happen because
Wished
people
that it never happened.
There are entities that still remember it, so
All
therefore
right,
it
stop.
still happened.
Hold on. We're talking about death and rebirth now, and if that doesn't have any kind of
No, we're not really.
impact. Well, hold on. Did Norman Osborn die?
Yeah.
How did he get brought back?
Yeah, you know, the Lazarus pit. How every great villain comes back.
So hold on.
Oh
So
wait,
hold on.
wrong universe.
Yeah, exactly. So it was magic hocus pocus.
He got brought
Right.
back because they gave J.J. Abrams the title.
Exactly.
No, but there's a difference than being reborn and you know, science or magic or whatever. Instead of a wish, you know, Nebula puts on the gauntlet. She wished that everything didn't happen.
Okay, so how
Therefore,
does
it
somebody
didn't
come back
happen.
from? Okay, with the exception of Jesus Christ, he's off the fucking block here. Okay, stop. How does one come back from the dead exactly?
Through science and magic.
Okay, so how did Norman come back?
You're missing the point.
You're talking about things that happen and then they're just undone. Well, I'm talking about Norman's death then. How was it undone?
I can't remember.
All right.
Want me to Google it? I'll Google it right now.
No, it doesn't.
Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me? How did he come back from the dead?
My point isn't about how. My point is that he did. Just like Cap, just like everybody else, they came back. It doesn't matter that they used the same source. It doesn't matter that they used the same source of their death to bring them back. They still brought them back. Oh, Chris has had enough.
You can't do it. You can't do
He can't do it. He ran.
When the heat gets, put on, when you question the great and mighty Thanos or Doctor Doom, they cry.
I'm still here. I didn't go nowhere.
My connection got so upset.
Yeah. Alrighty. It needed a safe space.
I actually don't remember how Green Goblin came back from the dead.
My point is it doesn't matter. We know that it was probably some kind of convoluted bullshit thing, right? Like a magic gauntlet that brings everybody back.
He snapped. Did you notice he snapped?
Okay,
Snap is canon.
So here's proof that you're wrong. Because everything good about Marvel Comics has been put into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So since Green Goblin and Norman Osborn don't actually exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then therefore they do not qualify.
So Spider-Man No Way Home
is multiverse crap. We don't pay attention to that.
But he came in and it's canon now.
No, it didn't happen because Doctor Strange fixed it.
What do you mean? He sent him home. He didn't wish that it didn't happen. He didn't snap his fingers and be like, "It never happened."
Peter wished it didn't happen.
Peter wished that nobody would remember his name.
Therefore, it didn't happen.
I mean, what are you talking about?
Okay,
that doesn't make sense.
Hold on.
Do you want some more straws? I can give you three more you can grasp onto.
I got a whole bunch of them right here. They're plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Let's relax.
Plastic straws. Save the turtles, sir. Yo, I heard about this new YouTube channel coming out. Mr. Crassy Pants. Have you seen this thing?
He is fucking hilarious. Did you see his straw rant?
I did. That's what reminded me of it.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So obviously we have some very different ideas about the Infinity Gauntlet and what its role was. I guess Jordan isn't a fan of any concept along those lines.
Is that what I said?
In his defense, he can't really read, so.
Is that what I said? I mean,
I'm asking because it sounds like you have an issue with how things were resolved.
No, I don't have an issue. I am putting holes in the argument that Thanos is the greatest villain. Rather than just accepting your word as face value, I am firing things at it to dismantle it. Okay?
Sure.
Rather than just saying you're wrong.
You're not
Obviously,
doing a great job. You're not doing a great job. Hey, argument guy. You're not doing a great job dismantling. Try harder.
What do you mean? I told you. He
literally because you said it. Because you said it, you have to believe it. Wasn't that your argument?
No, but you're saying just because it was wished undone doesn't mean it didn't happen.
And just because you said that wished undone that sucks means it's garbage. No, it's your opinion.
I didn't say it was garbage. I said it was.
You said that Thanos is done.
I also built it up. If you listen to everything I say it was earth shattering, but he did it once. He's not a consistent threat. But you guys don't like that.
No, because he's been involved in many stories where he is a consistent threat. What I'm trying to say is
we just didn't dig into ChatGPT to support our argument.
Well, you didn't even give any references either.
Well, because I wasn't. Okay, Thanos wasn't my thing.
The Infinity Crusade. The Infinity War. The Infinity War.
The Infinity.
Anything about Adam? Any story? And the entire existence of Adam Warlock, pretty much.
Wait. So the Infinity Weekend at Bernie's, the Infinity Crusade, the Infinity War. So do you notice how they keep saying infinity, infinity, infinity? It's almost like they're just going back to the well.
But what about Thanos 2, Electric Boogaloo? You forgot that one.
Yeah.
But
Now-
that's my point. Infinity, 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 infinity.
No,
And
I,
beyond.
I brought up
Hold
the,
on, hold on.
I brought up
Dark,
the
dark,
Zombiverse.
dark. How about that? Dark Reign, Dark Avengers, the dark side of my ass. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, it doesn't matter. That's what they call it because it makes money.
Got it.
Thanos Rising was one of the best books that
I
I've
forgot
read
about that.
in a long
That's a
ass
good one.
time.
Yep.
I forgot about that one. That's a valid point.
Oh.
What's wrong with that? I forgot about it.
Well,
And- and
hold on,
Thanos
let me just ask this. Let me
Imperative
ask
was
this.
good, too.
I gotta ask. If it was Thanos Infinity Rising, it would have been valid.
I would have laughed.
Oh
I
my
would've
god.
laughed. I would have laughed.
Okay. All right. We're moving on.
Dead air time. We can't do this. We got to keep talking. Keep the ball moving.
All right. So let's.
keep the
I'm
ball
I'm willing to put it to a vote. So we both vote. Chris, I'm sure you're voting Osborne's out.
If we like, what's the point of voting? Are we trying to narrow it down, or are we trying to?
Yeah. Let's narrow it down.
Okay, so let's say we take the 3 that we all elected plus our 2 runner-ups. So we have 5. We've got Osborn, Thanos, Doctor Doom, Kingpin, and Magneto.
Agreed.
Who is the greatest, most influential Marvel villain of all 5 of those?
Oof. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You stole Doom from me, so I'm saying Doom.
Okay, Jordan?
I mean, if we have to,
Because we can't restrict it to the 3 we picked, because the 2 of us are just going to outvote Jordan anyways.
I'm picking
Yeah,
Doom because he is.
more of an anti-hero. I mean, I don't have a vote right now because we're talking about Kobe and Michael Jordan. Now, obviously, who's the Michael Jordan of Marvel Comics?
Well, that would still be Michael Jordan, actually.
Fair.
We just checked. He has 5 rings of best Marvel.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go. Okay, hold on. We got Magneto. We got Magneto, and we got Kingpin. Hold on. All right. Let's just eliminate right now the 3 of us. Okay, we'll just eliminate Magneto. Is he still in the running? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. All of them are.
No.
That's the hard part.
We got to eliminate though.
I can't, to be honest. I'm
Just
thinking.
You were just arguing till you were blue in the face about Thanos.
Oh,
you
yeah, but
you can do this.
I'm literally arguing to have conversation. If we just
Sure, I
sat along
understand.
and all said, hey, Doctor Doom's the greatest villain.
But I'm
Bye,
still-
everybody.
Hold on, I'm still trying to
5-minute video.
stick. I'm trying to stick to our topic though.
I know. I'm not cutting Magneto yet.
Or I'm cutting Magneto. And I'm going to
All
tell you why. I just think, well, he does have some crossover. He is, and especially in the early years, he is really an X-Man villain. Really. Like, you know what I mean? He is an X-Man villain. And I just see that the X-Men have to solve his issues. So that's just me. I'm going to vote Magneto off. You guys can vote how it is, and he could stay in. So, but that's my argument.
I'm listening.
I just feel it's more of a gut thing. I'm not saying that he hasn't fought the Avengers. I'm not saying that he hasn't fought, Spider-Man and everybody else. But he really is an X-Man problem. He's an X-Man problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
He is an X-Man problem. So that's where I'm going to stay with Magneto. That's why I'm voting him out. As much as I love you, Mags, you're gone for me.
He's going to be heartbroken to hear this.
Yep.
And
So
that concludes our reason why Professor X is Marvel's greatest villain.
Absolutely.
of the 5 that we've mentioned, the top 2, in my opinion, for most influential crossover are Doom and Kingpin. They've been the most involved in other people's titles throughout their run.
That's the
Agreed.
thing, right? About Kingpin. That's why I wanted to do it, but I just felt like it was too easy. That's why I picked Norman, because I wanted to find a deep argument. Kingpin is Punisher, he's Spider-Man, he's Daredevil, he's Avengers. Like, he crosses all titles.
Guys, we got to stay with Magneto. So do you guys still say Magneto's in? Yes.
Oh, I can cut him. It's fine.
Yeah.
No. But do you still want him
Nope.
in? There's a way I'm doing this.
Oh, okay. You have a method to your madness.
Yeah, I
Keep
do.
him in.
I do.
Keep him in.
What is your
Keep 'em in?
what is your end game here?
I think he's given points.
Yeah, it's going to be votes for, votes against, and we just keep recycling. You'll see how it works.
Okay.
So is Magneto staying in or is he out?
I mean, of all the villains, these are what I call the top 5 that match what we're seeking here. And for me, I didn't think of Norman Osborn. He wasn't on my radar for this. But the remaining 4, it was hard for me to pick which one to go with. And that's why I brought up the other 2 as big runner-ups.
So is Magneto out then, Chris? Out?
No, I mean, I'd say he's still in.
All right, he's in. Osborn, is he in or out? I'm going to tell you why I with an amazing run at the end of the century, right? You know, around 2000, and when they brought him back and they jacked him to the 9s. Besides that aside, he's a guy on the fucking flying board that is responsible for Gwen Stacy's death, in my opinion. Like, I mean, he's a great villain, obviously. I think he's so impactful to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's so impactful to Marvel. But it's by default, right? It's by default.
So, in my opinion, and even the Gwen Stacy storyline is, if you're looking mainstream, is irrelevant. Even though they put her in the shitty Amazing Spider-Man movies and did that story, when you say Spider-Man and you say it to a normie and you go, who's Spider-Man's girlfriend? Nobody remembers Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And so therefore, even that event isn't all that impactful. And I don't think, although Jordan has done a great job of citing a bunch of shit that I didn't even remember or know about, I still don't see him as a hugely impactful villain in the Marvel Universe. I wouldn't even categorize him on the level of a Red Skull or who else was I thinking of earlier? But like he's nowhere in the class of the 5 that are the 4 that we have picked, because he would have been the 5th. So in my opinion, he's cut.
Okay. I'm out. Norman's out as well for me. The only reason, it's like Magneto's. I just see him as a Spider-Man guy. Like, I don't see like a big comic Green Goblin versus the Marvel Universe. Like, you know what I mean? You just don't see it, right? And I know that's not how he operates, Jordan. He's, especially as Norman Osborn, he's a corporate guy behind the scenes, more like Kingpin. Like, you know what I mean? He's definitely more like Kingpin, like that kind of threat level. But he is the Green Goblin, and I just don't see him doing that kind of stuff. He has had an incredible storyline where he did it one time. Kingpin does it all the time, ever since his inception, pretty much. So he's out for me.
He's my pick, so he's in.
Yep. Let's go to Thanos.
Well,
He's in.
He's in for me.
He's in. I don't know. You need a here. If there's a bunch of guys at Marvel sitting around saying, "Well, we need something to threaten everybody," fuck? Throw Thanos in. It's just he's the guy to do it. He's like Darkseid for DC. He's just that guy. So I don't know.
Not in for me.
Not in.
Not in. Too situational, not consistent enough. But when he shows up, he's devastating.
All right. Doom. He's in.
He's in.
Yeah.
He's in.
No debate.
There's no debate. All right. So here's what it's going down. Osborn is out. Magneto is out. Thanos is out. We're down to Doom and Kingpin.
Yeah. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I still got to go with Doom, which is why I went with him in the first place.
I got to go with Doom too because he's my boy. He's the gypsy with the most.
Why don't you just move to Latveria and be happy?
Get me a ticket.
Right? It'd be out so fast.
I hear their social programs are amazing.
Yeah, that would solidify it then. 2-1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if I
Yeah. It would.
vote just
It would.
for the sake of voting, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
majority.
Guys,
The old man
Victor-
muscle out again.
Victor wins the day. Victor is the victor.
Nice. I like that.
So, there are some really good arguments. Like, it hurts me to eliminate Kingpin. Like, physically hurts. Like, you know what I mean? It does. It absolutely does. And like, I'm not sitting there saying that Magneto isn't a world threat. Like, you know what I mean? He can threaten everybody on the planet. But I don't know. He's just got too much personal stuff wrapped up with the X-Men. It's their thing. And I just think Doom is an equal opportunity asshole. Like, he'll just go after everything and anything.
Yeah.
Like, do you have power? Do you have power in any kind of capacity? That I'm coming for you. And that's it. You know what I mean? He's tried to steal the Hulk's power, Silver Surfer's power, the Beyonder's power, Galactus's power, everybody's power. I am coming for you. Odin's power. Remember, Jordan? Odin.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He doesn't care. He's coming for you. He is
And what did you
equal
always say?
opportunity. What?
The greatest ending to Civil War was finding out Doom was not a part of it.
Yeah.
Or the worst part of Civil War.
The worst part.
Not
That-
the greatest. The worst part.
The worst part. And that's something that we've debated, Chris. I don't know if you've talked to Jordan about it, where it's like, I think it was one of the greatest failings.
Jordan and I don't talk in real life.
He just shows up to the restaurant and plays cards.
Disavow. All right. Okay. So, no, we talked about it. And I think one of the great, as amazing as Civil War is, and we all agree, the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest failing of the comic is that there wasn't a mastermind behind it all, and it would have been great if it had been Doom who set it all off.
I beg to differ. I think having a mastermind behind it all would be cheapening it. I think the fact that it seems to have come about through political shenanigans and more relatable political upheaval is the best part about it. The key quality is you didn't have somebody purposefully pulling the strings. You had it happen, like, I mean, arguably the onset of Civil War is because Nitro the Exploding Man blew up a city block and killed innocent people. So, and that spurred the need, that average people were like, hey, we've been putting up with this shit, but look what they're doing. Like, they're saying they're defending us, but are they really? Because my house was fine before, and now it's over there at John's house. And
Yeah.
and I've just been sitting here living my life. Like, you can sit there and say, it's like the old The Simpsons gag. I could, when Lisa says to Homer, I could very easily say this rock is the best leopard, or whatever she says, tiger deterrent. You don't see any tigers around, right? And he goes, I would like to buy that rock, Lisa. It's the argument of more police presence keeps you safer. It deters crime. But is it? Or, like, it's a chicken and the egg kind of argument. So I like the fact that Civil War seemed to have happened on its own, and not through either Doctor Doom or Puppet Master or some silly bullshit. It happened because of natural things. And again, arguably, this is why Marvel works and always has over DC storylines, is because they're not putting it in that the Joker pulled the strings like in the Dark Knight movie. He's the orchestrator of chaos. So therefore, that's why it happened, is because he was pulling the strings. Or if you look in the Marvel universe, the multiple loose strings that Baron Zemo was pulling just to get everybody at the same spot at the same time. Like, it's such a loose plot that doesn't really make any sense.
Go on.
And to have it happen, like the point I was making is Marvel goes in the comics anyways, used to, not anymore. Always goes for the relatable. Peter Parker is a guy trying to make it in New York City. So he's got a job, he's got a life, he's got problems, he's trying to make ends meet, he's trying to get laid. All this stuff, people can relate to that. They can't relate to Bruce Wayne. I was going to say Bruce Banner. They can't relate to Bruce Wayne, whose only problem is how can he fit an extra gadget on his belt that will, the classic shark repellent thing. So
okay,
it's relatable, and therefore I think, like, had Doom been involved, it would have been interesting, but not as the orchestrator.
All right. My argument to that, Chris, I agree with you 100%. There's a Marvel way of doing things. Absolutely. All right. And Marvel has always won that battle about relatability. My problem is that what they showed is that all these people are shit. And I don't care what team you were on, Team Tony or Team Cap, go Team Cap. I don't care about that. The only person, like me and Jordan both agreed on this, and you can jump in, Jordan, when you want to, was the Thing. He was the only one actually being a fucking hero. Everybody else was selfish, self-absorbed, couldn't see past their own fucking nose, and had to prove that they were right at the expense of everything, including people that were supposedly had saved their lives dozens, if not hundreds of times, had fought with them to save the entire universe, but they couldn't get over this fucking petty shit. It brought them all down. They were all super, but they were not heroes. And that's why I had a real problem with it. And if they had put a villain behind it all, they had something then to direct it against. Instead, they can just sit there and say, no, they're shitty, just like all of us. Nothing to aspire to. And that's it.
I don't see it that way. Because I still think that both, like, and why it works so well as an argument, even in the movies where they pared it down, dumbed it down, and all that shit, is the reason that it works is because you've got an argument that could be like, you can't argue against either side fully. So therefore, even within yourself, as any moral, self-respecting person can make an argument for both sides, which is why it's so brilliant. Because there is that terror. Because for years growing up, we read these comics and we didn't look at the collateral damage. We didn't look at the fact that, if the Thing is battling the Hulk, unless they're in the middle of a desert and there's nothing around,
somebody's getting killed.
Someone's getting killed. The property is being damaged. It's just it's insanity. But we didn't look at that when we were growing up at all these comics. So it was, as comics evolved and became more in depth and they weren't just the Infinity Gauntlet series where, it was cool, it was devastating, it was potential universe altering. So it captured our attention. It got all the heroes together to fight a common enemy. But when you pare it down and you look at where comics went from the early 90s to the 2000s and early 2000s, they became grittier, they became more real. And even when you had stuff that wasn't necessarily canon, like you've got your Old Man Logan series, that sort of fed into the feel of those, fed into what they were doing with other titles, other brands, and other conglomerations like Civil War, like House of M, and those kinds of things. They were taking these more realistic approaches to superherodom and good versus evil, and blurring those lines and making you think a little bit harder about, okay, just because the guy wears a cape and he's got bright colors, is he really standing for what you're standing for? And can you really support his position or her position in the 2% of the cases? And it's I don't know, it became more, I hate to say it because it's not real, but it became more real in that sense, and it became more tangible to looking out our window as opposed to looking into the pages of fantasy.
Well, and I agree. I'm agreeing with you 100%. Like, the dynamic, the choices, the realism, it was all there. I just don't like that we always have to bring these heroes to our level. And I know it makes them relatable and stuff like that, but there's something about them that's supposed to inspire us. Civil War wasn't very inspiring, right? It was very readable. It was very engaging, right? The thing was the real inspiring part of all of that to me.
See, I don't know. I can relate to both sides, but Captain America to me stayed Captain America. He is the one hero that I've always identified with. He is the guy who, and even in Civil War, quoted that famous Mark Twain quote, slightly altered, but the whole idea of, even if the entire world is telling you you're wrong, you plant yourself like like a tree on the river of truth, on the bank of the river of truth. And even if the entire world is telling you to move, you say no, you move. And even when presented with the Punisher, who felt like he was doing right, Captain America still showed him what right and morality truly is, and said, you can't do that. Even if you think you're right, these are not the methods to do it.
What did you think when he stabbed Tony in the back? Because Cap shot first.
Sorry, explain what you mean.
So Cap and Tony, right? Cap's team, Tony's team, go to meet about midway or 3/4 through the comic. Yep. And Tony reaches out, and it was for a treaty, a peace talk, right? Before things come to blows. And Cap has an EMP in his hand and short circuits Tony's suit.
Okay, so I'd have to reread because that's not fresh in my memory. I do recall what you're saying, but I don't recall all of the nuances to it. So,
fair.
Based on what you're saying, my argument in the Cap mentality would be, if Cap is showing up in his suit, if Iron Man's showing up in his suit,
it's wartime.
He's showing up. It's like in Star Trek. If the Klingons are approaching a Federation vessel and the Federation vessel goes to red alert and puts shields up, that's an act of war, so to speak. Or vice versa, right? If either of them puts shields up, that means you're not trusting the other person. Now, I get the Cap can't turn off his abilities, so there is that slight advantage, but you also have to recognize the Cap is not going to be somebody that's going to go, no, Tony, you're wrong, and I'm going to punch you out for it. Like, you have to respect who Captain America, time and again, no matter who is writing him, no matter what era we're in, Cap is the guy who is always going to be Cap. He is for truth, justice, and right and wrong, and he would not necessarily betray in the true sense of it. He's not going to stab him in the back in the true sense of the word, but he may have an equalizer to say, like, look, if we're going to have this argument, you need to come down to my level.
I think Cap had his shield with him then, and I'm gonna talk about how Civil War ended. Why does it always come down to Civil War, Jordan? We're supposed to be talking about villains here,
because
right?
it is the greatest comic ever written.
Hey, you brought it up, Paul. You brought up the Doctor Doom issue.
I know, but it always comes back to Civil War. My point is how it ends, and how Captain America realizes what he's done, and how he has fallen, and how shitty he is, and that's why he surrenders. Right? they brought Captain America down. Our boy, they brought him down in that story. They didn't build him up. He wasn't inspiring. He fell. That's what I'm trying to say. It would have been so much better had they had something behind the scenes, manipulating public opinion of the heroes, right? Even getting certain aspects to agitate between the two sides. All of it. It would have been something at least to say that, okay, these heroes have something to fight against besides just being shitty.
You know, it'd be cool. It just
and
came
utterly
off
failing.
the top of my head when you said, manipulating public opinion. It shouldn't have been Doom. It should have been Magneto. Because then he can be like, now you know how I feel every single day.
Well, they could have taken that angle in the sense of not necessarily someone who orchestrated it, but someone who jumped in and saw an opportunity.
Opportunity,
Maybe.
yes.
Orchestrate, maybe even that.
Orchestrate maybe not the right word, but opportunity.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Okay, but have something behind that, like behind the scenes, working something, instead of it just being all these characters that we love just being really fucking shitty, except for the Thing. So
they were all Skrulls.
And this is like literally, it's like people leaving their families for political reasons. Like these heroes aren't even above that.
Which is another reason why it's awesome, because you look at our political landscape today and it's exactly how it is, right?
Yeah.
You can't even sit down and have dinner anymore.
Well, with the new writers, they're now doing Civil War II, and it's all about mask debates. And
sorry, say that again.
They're doing Civil War II with the current stock of writers that they have at Marvel, and it's all of the heroes fight each other over who wears a mask and who doesn't, and who gets injected and who doesn't.
Oh boy!
They're all making their positions and stances and unfriending people on Facebook because of it.
And you don't even
unfriending. That's
hold on. And
you
don't
can't come back from that.
You don't want to see what Thanksgiving's like either.
There's no Uno reverse card for that.
Alrighty. But yeah, that's all. No, but I 1,000% see your side though, Chris. And I've talked to Jordan. I see his side as well on this. I love the relatability of it. I just wish that they had been able to dig themselves out of that hole somehow, and they didn't. They were just left in it.
Yeah, but that's the thing,
what I mean?
right? Like, I mean, I relate back to what's that song? Why can't I think of the name of it? But the line in the song is, it's like the bad play where the hero's right and nobody has to think too much.
I agree. No. Like, I like the concept of it. It is a great story. I love the story. You guys know that. That's
Blues
not
Traveler.
an issue.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but I'm not saying the Civil War isn't great. I'm just saying I think that it could have been better. I think that it didn't have to leave our heroes in that state. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you look at it from, again, you always have to temper what you're looking at in the story to what they're doing on the marketing side of the business. And you go, okay, so now we've got all these people that were involved, all these different titles came together as a conglomerate title. And now we've got to pick up the pieces. So now you've got storylines of where they go from there. And
a lot of rivalries, right? Like there's going to be a lot of rivalries.
Created a lot of new
that.
animosity and drama, and drama is interest.
Absolutely. I just wish it wasn't at the integrity of these heroes, right? I love them too much. And so I'm not saying that there isn't times to fall, right? But literally Cap should have been above that. He should have found a way to be above it. And he didn't. He embraced it. He went like full bore into it. And not just him, but a lot of people. Like that somebody like the Thing, who all he wants to do is crack skulls and get into it, except against the Yancey Street gang. But he was the voice of reason.
Why not? Someone has to be.
Exactly. But don't get me wrong, I love Ben Grimm. But I'm trying to say, how is it Ben Grimm and not Captain America?
Well, but Cap was to a point.
But like Jordan said, he struck first. He did. Captain America has a shield, not a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
He defends, right? I know he's a part of an Avengers team. They avenge, but his whole thing is as a defender, right? He defends, but he went on offense. And I can't. When me and Jordan have had debates about this, he always wins that point, and it's hard for me because it seems so out of character for Captain America to do that underhandedly too. It seems like a Red Skull trick to use an EMP pulse and a handshake. You know?
Yeah, like
That's
I said,
all.
I'd have to go back and read it and
Yeah,
look at what you guys
for
are
all the
saying.
nuance, right?
Yeah.
But Jordan does get me on that shtick every time. I don't really have an argument for it. But anyway, guys, okay. So getting back to our original topic for everybody at home, Doctor
Right,
Doom
Civil
is the man.
War. Where do we stand?
I'm done. All right, Doctor Doom is the man. But please let us know who you think. Was it Kingpin? Should have been Kingpin. Magneto, Norman Osborn, or Thanos? Do you think any of those, or do you have another idea? Somebody that people like us just can't get our heads around. Somebody that should have been on the list, that should have been number one, that we didn't know. Please tell us
Like
in the
MODOK.
comments.
Make an argument for MODOK. Someone, please.
Yeah.
That's going to be a difficult one. Get
Good
ready
luck.
for a lot of ridicule if you make that argument. Be ready to defend. All right.
Yeah.
Vermin,
nonetheless.
number one villain in the Marvel Universe.
Oh man, the Beetle. All right.
Find
please
out
talk
next
me-
time where we discuss the new live-action Hercules from Disney, starring Michael B. Jordan as the Greek god himself.
All right. Do you have anything you want to say before we wrap it up, Jordan?
Oh,
Or was that it?
No. Good luck to everybody in the Royal Rumble this Saturday. Let's go CM Punk. We'll see you at WrestleMania. Randy Orton, good luck. Hopefully you dethrone Roman Reigns. And may AJ Lee come back, so it'll be a great Saturday night at the Royal Rumble. We'll see you next Tuesday. Oh, I thought it was the final word.
No.
I'm
Chris,
passing
you
it
got
over to
anything you
you.
want to say? Chris, are you even there? I don't know. He's gone. Okay. So on behalf of Cameron,
I
Chris.
hung up because of Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. So I guess then on behalf of Chris and his sensibilities and standards, I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Please like, share, comment, and we'll see you next time with the next conspiracy.